RPGs aren't just about grinding levels or hoarding loot. They're about getting lost in worlds, living someone else's life, and making choices that actually mean something. So today, we're counting down the top 20 RPGs with the best storyline. These are the games that grab you by the heart, punch you in the soul, and make you say, just one more quest at 3 a.m. with tears in your eyes. We've got morally gray decisions, unforgettable characters, emotional breakdowns, cosmic horror, teenage angst, and yes, a few philosophical robots. Whether you're into dark fantasy, sci-fi operas, coming-of-age tales, or just really love crying over fictional people, this list is for you. So grab your headphones, mute your notifications, and let's dive into the 20 RPGs every story lover needs to play. Number 20, Skald, Against the Black Priory. Picture this. You're trapped in the bowels of a cursed priory, surrounded by eldritch whispers and crawling shadows. No flashy graphics or voice acting, just your wits, some ASCII-inspired visuals, and a hefty Lovecraftian punch. Skald isn't here to hold your hand. It's inspired by classic CRPGs, but with one major twist. Every decision reverberates through the system. You want to bar the door at midnight? Sound wise, until that choice trips a secret counter somewhere, and now the walls themselves are listening. Combat is turn-based and punishing. You're not a heroic warrior. You're human, hungry, and maybe a little scared. Every strike echoes far too loudly in these halls. Inventory management? Survival. Forget potion abuse. Here, every scrap of food, oil can, or ritual component is precious. And the writing? Minimalist but chilling. A single sentence scrawled on a rotten wall can send a chill down your spine. NPCs aren't chatty companions. They're haunted, broken, often untrustworthy. You piece together the Priory's descent from silence, fear, and rumor. The lore is delivered in whispers, not monologues. What makes Skald unforgettable is that creeping dread. You're never safe, even when the room looks empty. The sound design is sparse, but effective. Footsteps echo, rats scuttle, your own heartbeat is too loud. Players describe it as playing a nightmare in text form. And they're not wrong. But beneath the terror is something deeply compelling. Your own determination to uncover the place's secrets, even if they destroy you. Skald isn't for everyone. It's niche. It's dark. It's not consoling. But if you crave an RPG that makes you think twice about what's behind the next wall and rewards patience, paranoia, and curiosity, Skald, Against the Black Priory is a haunting experience you won't forget. Number 19, Planescape, Torment. Often called the best-written RPG of all time. And I'm not here to argue. You play the nameless one, immortal, disfigured, with zero memory. Except every time you die, you come back. And the real question is, who are you? The story unfolds in Sigil, the city of doors, a gothic crossroads between planes of existence. It's poetic, bizarre, philosophical. You confront your past sins. Are you a monster? A hero? Both? Neither? Combat is old school, clunky even, based on AD&D rules. But this game isn't about action, it's about conversation. You solve fights by talking, by playing the cards of persuasion, or even by outsmarting your enemies. Want to talk more out of eating you? You can. Want to convince a demon to let you pass? Try it. What makes this story shine? Characters like Fall from Grace, the floating sarcophagus with a moral compass, or Ignis, the living flame, burdened by regret. Each party member feels unique, flawed, and deeply human. The writing is dense, but it rewards attention. There are few quests where text passage choices feel empty. You'll find yourself pausing, thinking, reflecting. A single line can land like a punch about memory, regret, identity, purpose. Planescape is a philosophical journey wrapped in planar weirdness. Its moral questions don't have easy answers. And those costume text descriptions? They're not fluff, they're flavor. Every corner of this world wants you to think, to feel, to exist inside a story vastly stranger than any hack and slash. So yes, it's old. Yes, it's text-heavy. But the story? It's transcendent. Like a novel you play, and one that questions you more than any boss. Number 18, Fallout, New Vegas. Forget nuked wastelands cliché. In New Vegas, the real apocalypse is ideological. You're a courier left for dead, colliding with prisons, cults, rival factions, and the hoarded riches of the Mojave. Who you choose to side with could make you a hero or genocide in a cowboy hat. Yes, the shine has worn off some outdated animations and heavy textures. But the writing? Stellar. Your choices echo. Partner with Caesar's Legion or fight for democracy with the NCR. The game's Fallout's best at moral murkiness. Raider or hero, charismatic despot or idealist. It's up to you. Dialogue is sharp and hilarious if you go charming or sarcastic. NPCs are fully voiced with twisted backstories, like Mr. House, robotic titan obsessed with control, or Veronica, an ex-BOS trooper with an existential crisis. Every character feels alive, conflicted, and vital. The world building? Rich. Little notes, holotapes, decayed signs. They all tell stories. You learn about the fort, the Vegas Strip, the remnants without a single quest. Combat can be hit or miss, but with mods or smart builds, you could be a sniper, a brawler, or a brainwashed super mutant. And the DLC? It folds into the story perfectly. Honest hearts, old world blues, each adds layers to the wasteland. New Vegas isn't just an open-world RPG. It's a conversation about post-war survival, control, and human ambition. And it does it all while you drink irradiated whiskey. Number 17, Mass Effect 2. BioWare's masterpiece that perfected squad-based, choice-driven sci-fi. You're Commander Shepard. Then you're resurrected by Cerberus with the goal of assembling the most dysfunctional, lovable, and conflicted crew in the galaxy to stop a threat you can't understand. Character building is at its finest. Each loyalty mission delivers heartfelt arcs. You're not just collecting skill sets, you're earning trust, discovering pain, helping them heal. The pack dynamics? Electric. Dialogue system got an upgrade. Interrupt mid-sentence, snap decisions, real-time pressure. Conversation can pivot between languages, sarcasm, flirtation, hesitation, all instantly. Usually, your choices matter, even as early as Act 1. The story builds to spectacular stakes, but grounded in character. You feel the danger, especially during that final suicide mission. That mission is famous for a reason. Every decision, weapon loadout, loyalty, peace matters. One mistake, and someone dies. It's personal. It's terrifying. Combat is crisp, responsive, cover-based, flexible. Upgradable guns, powers, squad combo abilities. Each encounter feels tactical and cinematic. What lifts Me Too above most sequels is how it conquers expectations. You expect a space shooter? Instead, you get an emotional odyssey about loyalty, purpose, survival, and the cost of rebuilding family in a collapsing galaxy. It stands not just as a pillar of the trilogy, but as one of the best narrative-driven RPGs of all time. Number 16, Dragon Age Origins. You want choice and consequence? This is your blueprint. Set against the backdrop of the Blight, you play a Grey Warden, the last line between humanity and ancient Darkspawn. But the twist? Origins differ. You might be a city elf, a disgraced mage, a proud dwarf noble. Your first act instantly changes what the world thinks, what they expect, and who your allies are. The writing is layered and impactful. Dialogue isn't filler. It shapes alliances, romances, feuds. Think of the Elysium affair that complicates your war effort, or the Landsmeet in Denerim where political maneuvering is more deadly than Darkspawn. Party members are more than stats. Alistair's cynicism, Morgan's mother issues, and dark magic. Liliana's past mistakes, and her faith. They'll talk between battles, but heads share stories around camp. You get to know them, maybe even love them. And in Origins, death means death, no off-screen exile. The removal of a beloved companion hurts, really hurts. Combat is tactical. You can pause, issue orders, set formations. You can go in guns blazing as a sword and shield tank, or retreat and rain arrows behind a mage barrier. Fight smart, not spam. Origins also built the Dragon Age lore, the Fade, The maker, the Grey Wardens. Every choice you make sends ripples into future sequels. It's dark, it's medieval grim, it's politically thorny. But if you want a fantasy epic where your background choice literally shapes the world, Dragon Age. Origins is a masterclass in RPG storytelling. Number 15, Baldur's Gate, Enhanced Edition. The OG party-based RPG that launched 1,000 dreams. Yes, it's isometric tabletop AD&D. Yes, loading screens can feel ancient. But the story? Still legendary. You're the child of Baal, divine parentage you didn't sign up for. Betrayed, hunted. As you wander the Sword Coast, you gather companions with reactive personalities. They comment on your choices. They fight, argue, fall in love, or fall out. Your voice, your alignment. They respond. The main plot involves a sinister iron crisis. Trade caravans disappear, paranoia spreads, armies prepare. It's classic fantasy intrigue with memorable villains, unexpected betrayals, and NPCs who smell like actual people. Dialogues are crisp and witty. The edge-of-your-seat moment? That reveal by Servok, your antagonist, in the gore-soaked cave. It's earned, intense, and entirely earned. Enhanced Edition brought modern fixes, better UI, bug patches, some new companions, but left the core soul intact. Combat? Real-time with pause. It's tactical. It demands formation, spell combos, healing timing. It's far from instant gratification, but it's satisfying when the goblin horde finally falls because you planned, baited, disabled. Baldur's Gate defined the genre. Its world is rich, its companions beloved, its story influential. And the sense of player agency? Wild. Only in your BG playthrough are wars decided by a sword-and-board fighter with a penchant for meditation. If you crave epic depth, unforgettable companions, and a story where you are prophecy, Baldur's Gate. Enhanced Edition still stands tall. Number 14. The Elder Scrolls IV, Oblivion Remastered. This isn't just a remaster. It's a trip down the rabbit hole of memory, nostalgia, and absolute weirdness. Back in 2006, Oblivion introduced us to a living world where fences roped off cows for grazing, guards made bizarre philosophical comments, and mud crabs wandered freely, and still do. Now with modern graphics, Unreal Engine 5, and ray tracing, that oddball charm meets breathtaking visuals. The heart of Oblivion is its sandbox freedom. You can quash a Daedric invasion, cover yourself in cheese, or just wander into bandit camps wearing nothing but a loaf of bread. The choice is yours. In fact, that's the whole point. The world doesn't care what you do, and that's profoundly liberating. The story? Classic fantasy fare. You're the hero, you close a world-ending void, you save the Emperor. But between those beats are dozens, hundreds of small tales. The exiled vampire needing a cure, the conspiracy inside the Mages Guild, the struggling farmers cursed by a ghost wolf. Each town is a microcosm, and each quest brings the world alive. Remastering didn't touch the oddball dialogues. Guards still wax poetic about cheese wheels at midnight, and raccoons still randomly fall from towers. But the visuals did upgrade. Lush forests, glinting rivers, improved faces, no more wax statues. Combat and mechanics feel tighter. Crossbows reload, spells look brilliant, and loading screens rarely pop up. Yet the world behaves the same way. Flocks move in the distance, birds fly, NPCs follow schedules. It feels grounded until it doesn't. Oblivion is the ultimate playground. It's a story-driven RPG, but it's also a story you create yourself. And stepping back into it with today's visuals, it's still magical, absurd, and full of mystery. Your hero's journey is whatever you make of it. Number 13, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. If you only ever play one of these top story RPGs, it should be this. Not because it's new in 2025, but because it still sets the gold standard. You're Geralt of Rivia, monster hunter for hire. You could ignore the main story, head out to fish or play Gwent, but you won't. The Wild Hunt is coming. Ciri is missing, and the world is collapsing politically, morally, magically. Stories in Witcher 3 don't come in bullet points. they arrive as desperation. The Bloody Baron's haunted family arc is so emotionally complex that it can make you cry. Then you investigate a druid feud, turn an emperor's fate with a card game, or save a city from zombie descent. And each feels weighted. No fetch quest is unimportant. Characters are complex. Yennefer? Fierce, conflicted, capable of love, and leaving you suspicious. Triss? Warm, hopeful, lives with consequences. Villains feel justified. And then there's Ciri, your surrogate daughter with power you barely understand and destiny that terrifies you. Combat isn't its strong point, but it's serviceable. Geralt hefts swords, casts signs, uses potions. Enough to keep you engaged without stealing the spotlight from story. It's not perfect. Some side quests are filler. The map is huge. But the writing, voice acting, animation, CD Projekt went all in. And expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, are among the very best story-driven DLC in RPG history. Witcher 3 is empathy in action. It's romantic, gritty, funny, dark as hell, and never lazy. It's a reminder how powerful interactive storytelling can be, but only if a game dare to go deep. Number 12, Persona 3 Reload. This is the OG Persona experience, refined, polished, and more emotional than ever. You're a high school student by day, but at night you ascend the Tartarus Tower to fight shadows, using personas, manifestations of your spirit, your suppressed powers, to save your friends and maybe the world. What sets Persona apart is the social link system. Every classmate, teacher, or stranger you bond with becomes a persona with new powers. Your choices in dialogue, how you spend afternoons, they matter. Want to help a friend confess, study for a test, go to karaoke? Each resonant moment builds emotional depth. And then the plot kicks in. Students dying in the dark hour. A creeping presence. Sacrifices that sting. Characters confront mental health issues, existential despair, guilt over death. Persona 3 doesn't shy away from emotional weight. Graphics and UI have received a stunning overhaul. Smooth animations, sharp interfaces, revamped dungeons. It runs like water through cloth, sleek, responsive, polished. Combat picks up the pace too. You can now mash Persona to real-time or strategic grids. You choose. Bosses are challenging. Every midnight battle leaves a sting. What elevates Persona 3 is the theme of time. Social links end. Night ends. Your life ends. You're fighting against time itself. It's well-written, carefully paced, and aggressively emotional. Persona 3 Reload isn't just a JRPG. It's a psychological, coming-of-age odyssey. It demands emotional investment and rewards it with one of gaming's more powerful finales. Number 11, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. 3 games, one singular saga. Commander Shepard's fight to save the galaxy, remastered for a new generation. Play it from the beginning. Me1 builds relationships, sets up mysteries, and gives you Nolan North as your bicentennial VO. Sorry, that's Gurus. Me2 jumps into the role recruitment tour, blending gritty loyalty missions with a final mission that feels uncanny and unforgettable. Me3 is the emotional crescendo, political drama, galactic war, consequences for choices made in past games. Characters feel like old friends. If your friends are badass space warriors with tragic pasts. Tali leaves you with notes about her people. Morden croons, "I do what I must before sacrificing himself." Ultimately, you decide. Destroy, synthesis, or control fate. And that choice still sparks debate today. Remastered visuals are crisp. UI is intuitive. Minor glitches gone. It's the definitive way to experience the story. Mass Effect is relationship-driven storytelling in sci-fi armor. You build romance. You raise betrayals. You break a Reaper's legs and watch a solar flare collapse through the galaxy. It's epic, personal, and utterly unforgettable. Number 10, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. RGG Studios has transformed Yakuza into the Like a Dragon series, where street brawls meet heartfelt storytelling and major existential crises. Infinite Wealth blends legacy and reinvention. You follow Ichiban and new protagonist Namba, former nurse turned partner, as they explore LA's dance of crime, bureaucracy, and lost identity. The story is emotional dynamite. It tackles purpose, family, passing the torch, and innocence lost. One minute you're cheering for a parade of karaoke, the next you're crying because a kid you helped can't get a visa home. Combat: turn-based, flamboyant, punchy, unpredictable. You can fish, dance, cook, work a low-rent job. Side quest stories will make you laugh 1 second and ugly cry the next. The best part? Both things can happen in the same quest. Infinite Wealth might be the most emotionally mature Yakuza game yet. It's loud, proud, messy, human, and ultimately about choosing who you become in a world that wants to define you. Play this if you want character arcs, you want quirks, you want romance, betrayal, redemption, and yes, sometimes dancing ninjas. Number 9, South of Midnight. This Southern Gothic RPG is a visual and auditory marvel wrapped in a deeply personal story. You step into the shoes of Hazel Flood, a teenage girl returning to her hometown of Prospero after a hurricane devastates it. The game leans into American South folklore, swamp creatures, voodoo spirits, family grief, and generational secrets. It hits hard. The atmosphere is unmatched. The music doesn't just accompany the game. It becomes part of the storytelling. The blues, the visuals, the voice acting, everything bleeds soul. Gameplay focuses on exploration, magical weaving, and morally complex choices, not flashy combat. You're not grinding stats here. You're unraveling stories, emotions, and old wounds. Hazel's quest to rebuild spiritual bonds and confront her past is intimate, sometimes painful, and always human. She's not a superhero. She's a kid with history and hurt, trying to heal a place that doesn't know how to forgive. It's not a game for adrenaline junkies. It's a game for those who like slow burns, layered characters, and quiet, emotional resonance. If you want a game that feels like a living painting filled with ghosts, folklore, and healing, South of Midnight is unforgettable. Number 8, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. From the makers of Life is Strange, this game is soaked in nostalgia, teenage angst, and emotional gut punches. It flips between 1995 and the present day, telling the story of 4 teenage friends who survive something inexplicable and then reunite decades later to face it again. It's not about saving the world. It's about saving your past, your identity, and each other. Every scene feels personal, whether it's riding bikes under sunset light or sitting in silence at a diner table. The emotional beats are subtle and real. The camcorder mechanic lets you revisit memories, and every dialogue choice pulls back a layer of someone's truth or someone's lie. There's no combat, no stats, just story, dialogue, and consequence. And it works, because this game doesn't need explosions. It hits you in the heart with quiet moments, secrets revealed, and bonds broken or mended. It's a game about growing up, growing apart, and daring to return. If you're into story-first games with strong characters, an emotional core, and some of the best writing of the year, this one's a must-play. Number 7, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector. This is sci-fi storytelling at its most thoughtful. No lasers, no space battles, just you, an artificial consciousness in a decaying body, trying to find purpose on the edge of survival. It's all about choices. Every day, you roll a handful of dice. Those dice become your actions, helping refugees, fixing your ship, working a job, betraying someone. Nothing is random. Every decision feels loaded with meaning. The characters you meet are unforgettable. Lonely technicians, smugglers with regrets, doctors with secrets. You don't just click through dialogue. You build relationships. Or you don't. And that too has weight. The writing is sharp, poetic, and grounded. It feels real, even when the setting is light years away. You're not saving the galaxy. You're just trying to stay warm another night. Maybe help someone else do the same. This game understands loneliness, scarcity, and survival better than most. And if you let it, it'll quietly break your heart. Number 6, Metaphor, ReFantazio. This is Persona's spiritual successor, but don't let the name fool you. It's its own beast. You're thrown into a fantasy kingdom where politics, prejudice, and prophecy collide. 8 tribes, 1 throne, and your choices determine who rises and who falls. The story is dense but engaging, part political thriller, part personal journey. Each character isn't just a teammate. They represent ideologies, histories, and regrets. Conversations carry tension. Decisions aren't just strategic, they're moral. Combat is turn-based, stylish, and layered. But it's the social side that gives this game its weight. You don't just fight monsters, you navigate court gossip, underground resistance, and social collapse. And every bond you form changes how your powers evolve. It's emotional, it's political, it's smart, and it manages to be both fantastical and painfully relevant. If you want a rich, layered narrative with bold choices and high stakes. Metaphor. ReFantazio is everything you've been waiting for. Number 5. Red Dead Redemption 2. This isn't just a game, it's an American epic. Set in 1899, you play Arthur Morgan, a gang enforcer torn between loyalty and conscience as the Wild West fades into modernity. What stands out? Character. Arthur Morgan isn't a legend. He's a man with regrets, capable of both kindness and cruelty. As you ride through snow-sweeping plains and dusty towns, Arthur's interactions define the story. Your decisions, conversations, and random acts of mercy or violence shape his legacy. The cutscenes? Hollywood level. The dialogue? Sharper than a revolver's edge. Supporting characters like Dutch, John, and Sadie aren't just sidekicks, they're lifeblood. Each has hopes and demons, and the interplay is genuine. It's an emotional slow burn. Missions build tension until endings hit with emotional weight, especially the final chapters that reshape your memory of the whole journey. RDR2 isn't safe or easy, but it's powerful, beautifully crafted, and brutal in its honesty. If you want an RPG where your heart rides shotgun on every trail, this one's impossible to forget. Number 4. Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. After rough beginnings, CD Projekt Red returned with a vengeance. This expansion elevates story to noir artistry. You play V, the edge between Merc and Legend. Phantom Liberty throws you into a high-stakes espionage plot with Senator Myers and Spy Dog Solomon. It's sleek, dark, morally ambiguous, and dripping with neon betrayal. Dialogues have razor-sharp charisma. Choices come fast and bite harder. One moment you're saving a senator, next you're sparking cyber warfare that could shake Night City itself. It feels vibrant, dangerous, and lived in. The writing? Tactile. Characters aren't one-dimensional. They live, lie, and betray. Every decision leaves scars on your identity and the city. Combat glimmers, but the story drives it. Balanced intrigue, shocking discoveries, and a conspiracy that digs deep into power's heart. Phantom Liberty isn't just DLC. Its proof narrative can push even a chaotic open world into cinematic brilliance. Number 3. Horizon Zero Dawn. A rogue's journey wrapped in machine bones and mystery. You play Aloy, an outcast in a world ruled by robotic beasts. But her quest isn't just killing metal beasts. It's about identity. Who are you? Where do you belong? Its story flows like shifting sands, revealing ancient wars, corporate espionage, tribal betrayal, and a promise of redemption. Aloy's voice is strong and nuanced. She's curious, fierce, vulnerable, and she learns alongside you. Characters support her story, not overshadow it. And the machines, they're more metaphor than mere enemies. It's landscape storytelling. A ruined highway hints at collapse. A derelict lab tells a tale of hubris. Every environment deepens the world. Combat is tactical ballet. Narrative rewards exploration. And the scars on Aloy's face? They aren't cosmetic, they're chronicles. Zero Dawn proves a post-apocalypse can feel hopeful, human, mesmerizing, and honestly unforgettable. Number 2. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is more than nostalgia. It's reinvention, deeply rooted emotional storytelling. A remake sequel, it blends modern visuals with heartfelt emotion. Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barret, They aren't pixelated memories anymore. They're living, breathing people with weight and dreams, each moment threaded with nuance. Classic scenes return, but with depth. The Midgar escape, the train ride, the church serenade. They feel fresh, raw, more intense. Characters interact spontaneously. Dialogue flows, friendships build, romances bloom. And moments that once were sad hit harder now. Gameplay supports story. Combat pauses for holds. Characters talk mid-battle. You feel the weight of each swing and spell. It's cinematic, cohesive, and emotionally immersive. Rebirth isn't just a remake, it's a reckoning. A familiar tale told so much better that it tears you apart and builds you again. Number 1, Disco Elysium, the final cut. This game isn't just narrative, it is narrative. You're a detective with amnesia on a crumbling island. You piece together a murder and yourself by dialoguing with your own conscience. Internal voices cry for justice or power. Alcoholic slurs and intellectual insight war inside you, and it matters. No combat. Instead, you fight with words, ideologies, internal monologues. Each choice alters your detective's personality. Kind, macho, introspective, brutal. The entire world reacts to who you become. Writing is brilliant, literary, visceral, heartbreaking, hilarious. The city feels alive thanks to radio chatter, drunks conversations, political pamphlets. You live in Martinez. In the end, it's less about solving a murder and more about solving you. It's a psychological trip wrapped in crime noir, draped with soul. Disco Elysium isn't just the best RPG story of 2025. It's the greatest conversation you'll ever have with yourself. And there you have it, 20 RPGs with stories so good, they'll live rent-free in your head forever. Whether you're into politics, prophecy, or pure existential crisis, there's something here for every kind of storyteller. Thanks for watching. Now go start your next favorite game.